All right, welcome back to Chaos to Clarity. This will be my last video on this storm. Of course, by tomorrow, we're in the midst of it, and it's been a long road. I want to take you back to last Sunday. So about 4 days ago, I want to show you this graphic. I tweeted this out when I started looking at this. And this was from last Sunday, and what we were doing was we were concentrating on this shortwave, and you could see it was a little farther north across Virginia. And I originally thought, I'll tell you what, you got to watch out for this band of snow. You know why? Because this was a strengthening upper low, and yet all this forcing pushing up in here. And this was my original area where I thought there'd be 3 to 6 inches of snow. I really did. I thought it would be, this was from Sunday. Now, after that, and you can see how far north this shortwave is, way up in here. Shortwave moved farther south, and that's why I adjusted off to the south, and that's why for a time I had it in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia. And I still think that there's going to be some mischief and mayhem with this tomorrow. And the mischief and mayhem is somewhere along the Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware border in there. In Philadelphia, I think you're in it. And now toward Washington, toward Baltimore. Maybe Washington, D.C. was too far south. But that was my original thought when I put this out on Sunday. And you could see, I can see a narrow band of 3 to 6, locally 8 in this area. So that's what I put out on Sunday. Some of this looks pretty good in here. But, obviously I don't think it's all the way toward New York City. But this was what I was originally thinking. All right, let me show you where we are right now really quick here. I want to take you to the water vapor loop here. And you can see this is the piece of energy. Very vigorous upper level low. This is going to be diving southeast. This is what's going to produce the snow. Here's your first little system, more of a nuisance, especially for the northeast. This ejects out. You get a little injection of cold air behind it. And then you've got this energy diving to the south and east. All right, let me take you. I'm going to take this out of, let me go back here for a second here. And I got to turn off my pen really quickly. And there, let me turn off my pen for a second here. And now I'll go back. I want to go back and show you what we're looking at right now. Let me go to the 500 millibar here. And of those of you that follow me on Twitter, there's been a lot of conversations about this. And anytime you've got snow in the Northeast, you deal with a lot of people that want snow. And if you don't have it in your backyard, they get a little upset. But anyway, I want to show you, this is the short wave that we're tracking. Here it is. Watch it dive south and east. Now, and the key point is right in here. This is 1 o'clock Friday morning. I want to show you that this area really intensifies as it goes across the North Carolina, Virginia border here. So this is 1 o'clock. Watch what it does. Look at this strengthening around 7 o'clock in the morning. You see that? And let me put this on full so you can see a little better here. But watch how that system really strengthens. You start getting that 70 knots of wind. This is 90 knots of wind back here. And that just slingshots that shortwave, where across southern Virginia, North Carolina, so it's a little farther south than what I looked at on Sunday, and then it exits. That's a lot of energy. And the fact that this thing is strengthening, tells me that I'd really watch out for something funny going on here tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, early tomorrow afternoon. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to draw this, but I think it's in here that you've got it from the Baltimore, Philadelphia area toward Atlantic City. I'd really keep an eye on that area. I think it's narrow, but something funny can happen. I want to show you one of the other products I was looking at here. One of the things I like to look at is upward motion, vertical velocity, right? We actually have a product for that. It's nothing that really knocks my socks off, but I want to show it to you anyway. And I'm going to stop this right here. This is the vertical velocity. This is the 850. By the way, we start getting into the -8 area. That's where you start talking about high ratio snow. But I see this belt of upward motion, the best upward motion in here. It's north of Washington, D.C., but it's in the Baltimore area. It's like in here. And this is kind of where I think we're going to get the 3 to 6. Now, Baltimore, right now everybody has you in the 1 to 2 or 2 to 3. I think you're going to sneak 3 out and maybe 4. But I'd really watch this area tomorrow in here. Harrisburg, northern edge of it, York, most of northern Maryland here. And even toward Atlantic City, Philadelphia. Let's watch this area. I think something funny can happen in here, and this is where you could get the heavier snow. See a little upward motion, -8, you're going to get your high ratio snow. And even if we look at the surface panel, I'm not a believer in staring at QPF. What do I mean by that? There's a lot of people that just look at the snow totals, look at the QPF. You can get yourself on trouble on that, because then you're flip-flopping back north and south. I try to tend more to look at the 500 millibar because I trust that a little more. And then based off where you have the upper level divergence and where you have the best shortwave, then I try to base on where the snow is. But, I do look at the surface panel, and I do look not necessarily at the specific QPF, but at least what it looks like as far as where the models are projecting you have the most precipitation. And you can see that's kind of interesting that you remember that area I was talking about right in here. And again, it's that York, Harrisburg, Philadelphia toward Atlantic City area, right down toward Baltimore, right in here. You've got the heavier band. See, I think the 3 to 6 area is smaller once you get east of the mountains than what we have it. And I think it's a little farther south. Now, is it around D.C.? I thought D.C. would be in it. I still think you're going to get a couple of inches in D.C., and you may get to the lower end that I originally had, 3 to 6, and certainly not the 6, but I think you're going to sneak out 2 or 3. But I would really watch this area in here. Let me show you what I mean, and then I'm going to end it here. I don't want to belabor it too much. This is our snow map that we drew this morning. And here it is. And, my thought is, and one thing I don't like about our snow maps, I don't like the cities block everything. And for those of you that complain about Long Island being blocked, you're right, it does. We don't have anything in central and eastern Long Island out of this. But my point is I think this 3 to 6 areas is a little smaller, and it goes like this. And it's down toward Baltimore. And a lot of what you see like in Allentown and central New Jersey, listen, you're going to get your snow. You're going to get 2 or 3 inches. Is it over 3? I don't think so. See, I think it's farther south in here. And it's smaller than what we have once you run east of the mountains. So we'll see if that's right. I mean, right now we have, the 3, 4, 5, 6 inches all the way into central New Jersey. I just think that's too far north. I think it's like this. And I would extend it right to Atlantic City. Yes, Philadelphia, I think you're in it. No doubt about it. But I think it's a little, I think it's a little smaller like this. All right. But the one thing this storm is going to do, it's a huge area. Oh, you can't see it. There it is. Sorry about that. So this is what I'm talking about. Let me go full, and I'm drawing on it, and you didn't see it. So see, this is the area. I think a lot of this, like from Allentown, central New Jersey, listen, you're going to get your 2 or 3 inches. I just don't think you get 5 or 6. I think it's a smaller area in here, and that's my point, that this is where it's going to be. Let's see if that's right. But I'll leave you with our snow map. I think, it comes down a little bit here. And I think Philadelphia, Atlantic City, and I think Baltimore, you're going to get awfully close to over 3 inches here, but certainly along the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. I think there's your band. And let me get rid of this, and I'll play this, and I'll leave you with this. So this is kind of our snow map here. Again, I think we're a little too big with this. We'll see if I'm right. And I think that snow map comes down like this. In here. That's what I'm thinking. That the best upward motion is in here. Your shortwave is still way down here. It's a strengthening shortwave, but I'm telling you, there's going to be some surprises with this. Where's it going to be? I think it's along the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. Let's see what happens. All right, if you have any questions, you can follow me at Twitter. I'm at AccuRayno. Again, let me go full. I'll get rid of this so you can see it. And I'll I'll leave you with that. Let's see how it works out.